All righty. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today? Come on now.
Really good, man. Really good.
There
Good,
you
I'm
go.
good.
good, bro.
There you go. There you go. That's what I'm
Good.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all ready for this today?
Yep.
Ready,
All
ready.
righty.
Way ready.
Hopefully that tune didn't, tune anybody out, because it didn't tune
No,
me.
I was here vibing, man.
That's what's up. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. So, obviously, y'all know who I am. This is Mo, and this is another study hall. We about to make it happen. So let's jump into it right away. All right. Um, you guys already know first step what we do, Forex Factory, right? So we're gonna look at the news and see what's going on there. See where the fundamental analysis is going to lead us. So that's what we're gonna do. Obviously today's Thursday. Um, you guys see the EU Economic Summit that's been going on this whole week. And you guys know it's been affecting the market. Some of y'all already know if you trade in EU, GU, GBP pairs, anything like that. You guys already know it's been affecting it. So it's still going on. It's still another day here. So we still got to take that into effect. Obviously, if you don't know what it's about, you can go ahead and click on details, and then just like I showed y'all last week, you can just read up on it and see what's going on. Like what is it about? Mainly, it's a summit about all the economic leaders in Europe basically meeting up to see about forecasting the financial market and all that good stuff. So it's going to affect the market, right? Especially all the European pairs. It doesn't just have to be euro. I mean, even though it says euro right here, but it's going to affect everything else. Like the Great Britain and the Swiss franc and all the other European pairs, right? So let me see. Let me pull up the chat so I can at least see who's saying anything. Give me one moment, right? All right. So obviously we already saw that, and then as you can see, this happens every quarter. So as you can see, the last time that happened wasn't back in July. Again, like I was saying last week, if you want to see how much that's going to affect the market, you can always go back to that specific week and then go to your chart and then just basically see what happened that day and how the market reacted that week. And that's going to kind of give you an idea on what's going to, what is it going to do for this week, right? So that's another little tidbit. So we've already looked at that. So we're going to go back to the calendar again. Let's go back to for tomorrow. So tomorrow for the U.S. we see two red folders. So we got to pay that. We got to pay attention to that. So tomorrow we got the core retail sales. It's coming out tomorrow, and this one comes month to month. So it comes out every month. All right. Go ahead and click on details. So basically, what this is, it's basically like a report for the monthly sales. Whether it's automotive, gasoline, whatever, it's going to report it. So that's going to definitely affect the U.S. Currency and any pair that you have that has the U.S. in it, right? So you want to definitely pay attention to that. And obviously, it's every month. You can always go back to the previous month just to kind of see what it did. Again, same thing. Go to the market, go to your charts and then see what happened that day. All right. And let me see. And obviously, we do have some yellow folders on here. I don't know how that just popped up because I have that filtered out. So I don't know what happened there. But anyway, we ain't going to worry about that. It's irrelevant. So let's see. Bye. See you later. Bye. Um, anyway, so obviously, you got the previous month numbers on here. You got the forecast for what's going to happen tomorrow. Obviously, like I said last week, the forecast is never it's not accurate. I mean it in some cases it is accurate, but you cannot rely on the forecast because it's not always going to show you the same number. So tomorrow at 8:30, you got to sit here and look at it. Look at what the actual number is going to be. That way you can base your analysis on that. All right. So actually, I want to start off with doing something. I'm gonna go ahead and just do an example. So, for instance, September 16th, that was the last time that this report came out. So, we can go ahead and look at September 16th just to see what it, what the market, did, or what it react, how it reacted. So it kind of gives us an idea on what to expect, right? So let's go to the 16th. So we're gonna go to the chart here actually. Um, so we're gonna look for a USD pair. I don't know. Give me a USD pair. Any of y'all? Anybody?
GU.
Come on, man.
Jay.
We're gonna talk about
UJ,
GU later. All right?
UJ.
Yeah, let's do UJ. We're gonna talk about GU later. All right. We're gonna wait on that. You already know we're gonna talk about GU later. So all right, so UJ. I see a bunch of UJs in the chat. So let's go with UJ. All right. So where's UJ at? I know it's somewhere in there. All right, so UJ, right? So we can go in the daily just to kind of find that day, right? Don won't say US 30. All right, we can look at the US 30 after this, all right? So let's go back to September 30th, right? So this is September, so it's somewhere around here. So we're gonna go down to a lower time frame, so like the 4 hour, the 1 hour. So actually, I'm gonna go down to the 1 hour. All right. So September 8th, September 16th, right? So this is September 16th, and as you can see, the news comes out at what time? About tell me. Come on, I need some engagement, y'all. There you go. All right, so 8:30, right? So we're gonna go to the 16th and then look at 8:30, right? We're gonna look at the 8 o'clock candle and then the 8:30, right? So this is the 16th. So this is 8 o'clock right here, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and just block it out just so we can have a visual. Go ahead and zoom it back in, and then I'm gonna go down to a lower time frame. So right here, right? So this is the block, right? So this is our 7 o'clock candle, 7:30, 8 o'clock, right? This is our 8:30 candle. As you guys can see, that long drop at 8:30 when that news came out, that was, it wasn't that much, but it was at least a drop. You can see that that kind of affected the market a little bit, right? So you can keep that in mind, right? And then you can always go back to the previous month. So the month before that was what? August 14th. We're gonna do the same thing. So just bear with me, guys. I promise you, there's a point. There's a point behind it. All right, so August 14th, right? So this is 12, 13, and then 14th, right? So August 14th at 8 o'clock, 8:30. That's when the news came out. So we're right here, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock. So this is 8 o'clock, and then the 8:30 candles right here. It didn't do a whole lot at 8:30, but you can see it. It kind of dropped. But I mean, the market was already dropping, so this, I wouldn't say that it made a lot of effect on this specific pair. It might have done some effect on another pair, but in this particular pair at 8:30, as you can see, it did drop a little bit, but it didn't really, it didn't really do anything significant, right? And even with the September one, it didn't really do a whole lot either. It dropped a little bit, but it wasn't like something so significant that you have to like, keep that in consideration, right? So even though it doesn't show us a whole lot, just for the simple fact that it's a red folder, you always have to keep that in consideration when you're doing your analysis and when you're about, places trade, anytime around that, when that news comes out, right? So let's look at, US 30 since Domo dropped it in there. So let's see. So September 16th, that's when it came out, right? So we're in August. So September 18th. So this is the 18th. So we're in the 16th, 17th. So 16th right here, right? So let's see. September 16th at 8:30. All right. Let's see. So this is 9 o'clock. This is 8:30. Well, no, this is 15th. My bad, y'all. I'm a little dyslexic. I can't see a whole lot. So just bear with me. All right. So September 16th at 8:30, right here. So this is the 8 o'clock candle. This is the 8:30 candle. I mean, it dropped a little bit, but again, it's not that significant, right? It's not that significant. You know, it dropped. We're gonna say that that's the reason why it dropped, because that's obviously when the news dropped. It was kind of going in a certain way, and then it just reversed a little bit, and then it went back to the same way that it was going initially. So you know that it made some type of an effect, right? Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So again, we've already looked at 4 different examples, and we did see some type of reaction, but not a whole lot. So again, I'm not saying don't expect it to be the same way tomorrow when the news comes out. You just got to keep that in the back of your head that it might affect it some way, but it's not a guarantee. So you just got to keep that in mind, all right? So let's see if we got any other type of news for tomorrow for any other pairs. All right, so for tomorrow, that's really the only thing that we saw. So we're not gonna worry about anything else. I'm gonna just go ahead and look at the other ones just to kind of see if there's anything else. Again, these are not high impacts, but it's always good to kind of glaze at it and just kind of just to kind of see if there's anything else that you might want to keep an eye on, right? So you see a lot of yellow folders. Those 2 red folders we already looked at. You know, here we got a lot of USDs and some CADs on here. So that's basically what I'm gonna do, right? That's the only thing I'm gonna look at. So I'm only gonna worry about the USD pairs or anything that that has an effect with the USD pair. And then you gotta see what the market does, because you always want to react to what the market does. You don't want to like predict the market. You want to react to the market. You want to wait until you see some type of action, and then you want to react to it, right? That's very important. You got to remember that. Even if you do your analysis, your own analysis, you did your markups, you did your support and resistance and all that good stuff. At the end of the day, you are not predicting the market. You're always reacting to the market. The market is going to do what it does. You cannot predict it. You know, when you do that, that's when you lose money, right? So that's that. All right. So you guys have any questions with the fundamental analysis or anything like that? Come on now.
So far, so good.
All
So far,
right.
so good.
All right. Cool. 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 All right. So the next thing that I wanted to go over with is obviously the 20 pip and dip, because I've been getting a lot of questions about the 20 pip and dip. I did go over it last week on our session, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it again, just to kind of if whoever doesn't really understand it fully, I can go ahead and give kind of an explanation, or that way they can clear their mind a little bit. You know what I mean? So again, I'm gonna ask for another pair. So who got any pairs? All right, I see EJ, GJ. All right, so I'm gonna go with EJ first. All right,
You
Doing that
can.
USD cat. Oh, all right, cool.
we're gonna do USD cat after. All right, I got you. So EJ, where's EJ at? All right, so EJ is right here. So go ahead and delete that. So what I usually do with the 20 pip and dip, I'll go ahead and take these indicators that I already have on there, or the one indicator that I already have on there. So obviously you want to go into 1 hour, right? So what I usually do is I stay in the 1 hour, and I just do my regular markups. So I already have some markups on there, so I'll go ahead and just delete everything so I can have a clear chart, right? So I zoom it out, and then like I said, I usually go to the line chart just to kind of give me a little visual on what I can see, because usually when you do a line chart, it'll kind of let you know where where the support and resistance is at. It'll make it a little bit clearer, right? So first thing I usually do is I draw where the price is at right now, right? So this is where the price is at. I'm gonna go ahead and draw that, right? That's pretty accurate, right? Y'all agree?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So then I will go to the next highest high. All right, this right here is a little bit close to where we were at right now, so I'm not gonna really worry about it too much. So I'm gonna go to the next one. All right. So the next one that I see, that my eyes show me, is this one. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw that line right there. Y'all agree that's pretty accurate, right? Because we got, resistance here, here, kind of here a little bit, but not so much. And then I got here. So, and I bet if I go back, I'll see some type of resistance there too. So kind of here a little bit and then here, right? So we know that that's a valid line, right? Y'all agree with that, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So now we're
What
gonna go
about a bit lower?
where exactly? Tell me when to stop.
I mean, so are you focusing on just where price is at right now?
So yeah, so usually I draw a line where price is at right now, right? And then
You look to see what resistance it's respecting at the moment.
exactly. So
All right.
yeah, so I'm not gonna
Because I was looking at that area below there on the bottom left.
like
I was
right
like,
here,
hold on now.
right here.
Yeah, the low.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to the low.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to the low. So usually what I do is I draw two lines on top and two lines on the bottom.
Oh,
I don't like to have it overcrowded. I don't like to have a whole bunch of lines on my charts because like I said again, I can't see. I'm a little blind, so if I see a bunch of lines, I get confused. You know what I mean?
all right. Cool.
I try to keep it simple. um, and then so the next highest high that I see after that one, I would say right here. All right, y'all agree with that, right? Because if you go from here, the next the next level that you see where it kind of had some type of resistance would be right here, right? Y'all agree?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and draw a line right there. All right. So now I got where the price is at, and I got two lines on top. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do two lines on the bottom. All right. So Trayvon, where were you thinking at?
I was looking at the low.
Like right here,
Now lower.
all the way down, right here.
A little. It could go up a little bit more.
So
Yeah, about
you
right
want
here.
you want to line it to this one, right?
Yeah, that's where I was looking.
All right.
That's
So
where
we
I
go.
was looking too.
All right, we go ahead and draw that line. So it's a valid line because obviously you see some type of resistance, here, even here a little bit. And if we go further down, we're going to see some type of resistance too. So that's pretty valid, right?
Yeah.
So right here, I kind of see a little bit here, but you know, not as strong as the one that I just drew, right?
Nah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just draw it anyway because I'm a scalper, right? So I'm a
Oh, okay.
scalper. So I usually go for like 20 pips and get out. I don't sit there and wait for longer, for longer pips. Unless the market gives it to me, then obviously I'm not gonna turn it down, right? If they're gonna give me money, I'm gonna keep it. I'm not gonna be like, nah, I'm good, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and draw another line right here. So now I got, two on top, two on bottom, and that's why I usually stop. Again, obviously there's more support and resistance lines, up and down, all right? But I'm not gonna worry about it too much because, like I said again, I'm only going for 20 pips for a small amount of pips. So I'm not gonna worry too much about these because I'm not gonna wait until it gets to that point. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So now I'm gonna go ahead and change it back to the candle chart. All right. So usually what I like to do is, I kind of identify my trends or whatnot. So right now, if you look at it, what do you guys think? Is this a downtrend or is it an uptrend?
It's bearish right now.
Downtrend. Trend.
Downtrend, right? All right, hold on, give me a second. So you said people are having issues. So what is it? Is it asking for passcode? If it's asking for passcode, it's impact all caps. Hold on, y'all. So the impact is the passcode. All right, just let me know if they're still having issues. All right. Anyway, so y'all said it's in a downtrend, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw my downtrend line, right? I agree with y'all. By the way, it is in a downtrend because obviously we see that we have lower lows and lower highs, so we're still going down, right? So, and this is from what, from October 20th. So it's pretty valid. It's been going down for a minute now, all right? And right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down to. I'm gonna actually go ahead and put my 20 pip and dip indicator. So I'll go ahead and put that in, and then just kind of stretch it out so I can have a better visual. You can always do that, obviously. And then obviously, if you do this, you can also move your lines, to where you feel like it's more, accurate. Right now, I don't see anything that I feel like I need to move because they're all pretty, accurate, right? So I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Maybe this one a little bit here, but well, actually, nah, I'm not gonna worry about it because I see where the wick that got rejected right there, and so I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna worry too much about it, all right? So right now we see that the 50 EMA is above where the price is at, right? Usually when the price is below the 50 EMA, we're only looking for sales. And last, Renko that we had was a sell, right? So that's kind of another confirmation, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and draw a line where I'm at right now at this point. I'm at this wick, I mean this candlestick, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw a vertical line. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw a vertical line, and I'm gonna go down to the 5-minute chart, and then I will just look at it just to kind of get another confirmation. All right. So right now, what I'm seeing is that yes, indeed, like right here, this candlestick was below the 50, but I see that price is kind of going up, and right now it's touching the 50 EMA. So I'm not gonna get in the sale right now. It's just not enough for me to get in the sale. I either would have to wait for it to reject off of that 50 EMA and then go down and then get another confirmation to get down, right? And then another thing too, as you can see, this trend line that we already drew, I mean the support and resistance that we already drew, it already broke that. So most likely it's gonna probably retest it and then go up. Either way, it's not enough for me to jump in that sale. Even though in the 1 hour chart, it told the last thing told me it was to go to sell. I'm not gonna do it because it's just not enough. Even though we're still in a downtrend, it's just not enough for me to get on that sell right now. If I'm only going for 20 pips, if you're going for longer pips, then yeah, because your stop loss is gonna be a lot higher, so you can kind of handle that, draw down a little bit and then go down again. But again, like I said, I'm only going for 20 pips, so I want to see a little bit more confirmation on the lower time frame because that's where I'm going to be entering. I'm not going to enter at the 1 hour mark if I'm only going for 20 pips. If I'm going to do that, I'm going to enter at the 5-minute or the 1 minute. All right, does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, so this one, it would be one that I'm going to keep an eye on. Like I said, I'm going to wait until it rejects off that 50 EMA and then kind of see it get away from this support and resistance. And technically, like right here, it's been going down. It broke it, and then it's retesting. So this can be like a retest off of that support and resistance. Either way, I am not ready to jump on this one right now. So I would just put it in the back burner, just wait on it, come back and look at it maybe another 30 minutes to an hour or whatever, just to see what it does at that point. So what I usually do is I leave the markups, I leave it the way it is right now, and then when I come back, I'll kind of have an idea on where I'm at. Right? You guys have any questions?
So far so good. So far so good.
All right, cool. Let's make it happen. I mean, it's trending down now. So, I mean, I would wait until this candlestick closes just to see what it does before I even jump on that sell. Right? So instead of waiting an hour, I'll probably wait another 5 minutes just to kind of see. All right. So in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and look at another. We're gonna go ahead and look at another pair. So I did see GU on the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and look at GU real quick and see what we got. All right. So GU, I'm gonna go back to the 1 hour. All right. And let's see. I'm gonna take away the indicator. So I've already marked it up, but I'm gonna go ahead and delete it and just mark it up again, just so you guys can see it again. You know what I mean? Because markup is all about training your eyes. It's all about how you see it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I might mark it up one way, and then someone else might mark it up a totally different way. It's okay. It doesn't mean that I'm wrong, or they're right, or they're wrong, or whatever. It's just about what you feel comfortable with. If you feel comfortable with the lines that you drew, that's all that matters. You know, it does not matter if another person tells you, yeah, well, I see a trend line right here. If you're comfortable with your trend line, go with that, because at the end of the day, you're the one that's pressing that buy or sell, right? If you listen to someone else and then you press that sell or buy, and then you lose that trade, then you're mad because you didn't listen to yourself, right? So you want to always follow your instinct. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and draw my lines. So this is where the price is at. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and draw that line right there. All right. And then I'm gonna go to the line chart. So the next highest high again is like right here. It's a little bit close. Yo, sorry y'all. Okay, so this line right here is a little bit close to where the line is at. But actually, I'm gonna go ahead and draw it because it's been support from what I see. It's been supported here, 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 here again, and then all the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw it, even though it's like close to it. Again, I'm scalping, so it doesn't really matter. Once I go down to the 5 minute or the 1 minute, I'm still gonna see it. It's still gonna be enough of a gap for me to analyze, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and draw that line right there, and I'm gonna draw another one. I'll go right here.
Mo,
What's up?
do you think you could just stretch open your chart just a little bit
Yeah,
more so I can see the actual points that you're marking?
yeah. Is
Thank you.
this is this
Appreciate it.
is this better?
Yes.
All
Thank
right,
you.
no problem. All right, so I already drew 2 lines above the price. Now I'm gonna draw 2 lines below the price. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. So the next one is right here, but again, that's super close. I'm not gonna draw that one because it's too close. So I'm gonna go to the next one. So this is the next one, and as you can see, it's pretty, it's pretty respected. If you go all the way down, right there, even if you go further down. But again, I'm scalping, so I don't really care what happens before September 10th, because that was a month ago. I don't care what the market did before then, right? Because again, I'm only in and I'm out, in and out. So the next one that I see is right here. You guys agree that that's the next lowest low? I mean, this one technically is, but it's close. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and draw that one because I see it here. I see it here, 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 here. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw that line actually. All right. Again, if I stretch it out, it's gonna look a lot clearer. So I'm gonna stop right there. I got the price, 2 up, 2 down. All right. So I'm gonna go back to my candles again. Now, what do you guys see? A downtrend or an uptrend? What do you guys see?
I'm seeing bearish. I'm seeing bearish.
You seeing bearish?
An option, I don't know.
Okay. I mean, hey, there's no right or wrong answer. Again, it's all about what your eyes are telling you. You know. So me personally, I see an uptrend.
Yeah.
I see an uptrend. I
I
mean,
do
I did.
too.
Yeah.
Jo-
So yeah. So
Currently a downtrend,
yeah,
then
it
the
was a
next
downtrend and then it
uptrend.
reversed, right? We see a downtrend and then we see a reversal right here, because obviously you see what when you're going down, you're looking for lower lows and lower highs, right? You got lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then some kind of consolidation. Got lower low, right? Lower high, lower low, higher high, because this is higher than than the previous high. So that automatically tells me that, hey, there's a reversal. It reversed on you, right? And again, higher high, higher low, because it's higher than the last low. So technically, at this point, we're reversing. We're going up. So, you know, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, again and again, again, right? Right here, it may look like it might be reverse. I mean, it looks like it may be reversing, but it's not. It hasn't broken structure fully yet, because at this point, it can still go back up, right? So unless I get another lower high, I'm not gonna think that it's a downtrend. I'm still gonna think it's a bullish market. It's going up, right? Um, Okay, it's in the consolidation. I mean, if you look at it, it kind of, I mean, technically it is in the consolidation, but I'm looking at, like, if you look further down, it kind of does look like a consolidation, because it consolidated right here, went down, went back up, and it consolidated again. But if you look at it from this point, it's going up. So it's an uptrend. So like Sylvia said, have to wait on the confirmation. So yes, you do have to wait on the confirmation at this point, right? Because it can literally like go up here and then go back down. So if it does that, then you're reversing. That means you're going down, right? But technically, right now, we're in an uptrend. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw my uptrend lines. I'll go ahead and do that right here, right? I'm gonna actually do a channel because it makes it look clearer. And again, when you're drawing your trend lines, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you got to do it from the wick or from body to body, whatever." Like me personally, what I like to do is I just like to have a visual. I'm not gonna draw it exact to the lines or exact to the wick, because at the end of the day, it's gonna tell you whether it's going up or going down. Right now, the way that I drew it, does it not tell you that it's going up, even though I didn't do it at the wick or at the candlestick or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's all that matters.
Say
Again,
that too.
yeah, there's no preference on how, like, there's no, there's no right way or wrong way to do it. So it looks clear to you, right? So it looks clear to me. So again, then we're still at the 1 hour. So I'm gonna go ahead and stretch it out again and do this. So just so I can have an idea on where we're at. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my 20 pip and dip indicator, and then stretch it out some more just to kind of see where I'm at. Again, like I said earlier, you can always move your support and resistance line. Hey, I got you. I got you. Again, with the trend lines, it doesn't have to be perfect, It does not have to be perfect. As long as you can see it and you can identify that it's a trend line, it doesn't matter. It does not have to be perfect. Because if you try to make it perfect, you're gonna be sitting in front of that chart for hours trying to wait on that perfect line, and you might not ever get it. And you're gonna be losing out on trades because you're worried about drawing your trend lines when you could have been in the market.
Well, I got a question for you, Mo.
What's up?
So since is that the 14th? Okay, are you seeing that M after the W?
Mm-hmm.
Right here.
Yeah,
Right here.
yeah. And
Okay.
it's below the 50 MA. So wouldn't you say that maybe it's changing from an uptrend to a downtrend?
Well, so okay, look. So if you stretch it out, right? Let's see. So in order for it to switch from an uptrend to a downtrend, right? It has to be, it has to break the high. Technically, it did right here, but if you're looking at the higher time frame, like this right here, yeah, I mean, it kind of does show you that it's going down, but it's not enough for me to say, okay, great. But if I go on a lower time frame, I bet you it's going to show me that it's a downtrend. Let me see. Let me see what the down. So if you're looking at the lower time frame, it does show me that it's bearish. On a higher time frame, it's not going to show you. I see what you're saying, right? You're right. You're right. It is technically a downtrend in the lower time frame, but when I was saying it earlier, it was at the 1 hour. So technically, we haven't really seen it break structure fully, because if you look at it, like, let's say the lines right here. So right here, I mean, it kind of broke a little bit, but like it's not like it's still close to where that reversal was. So me personally, what I would do, I want to wait until it breaks this high as high, because that's much clearer, right? Does that make sense?
For a buy, right?
Yeah, for a buy.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So Mo,
yeah.
do we ride that uptrend? Do we ride the buy going up, or do we sit on our hands and wait to see if it's going to create that higher high?
So right now, what I would do, so since it broke our channel, right? It already broke our channel, right? So it broke our channel. So whenever the channel is broken, you have to wait until it retests it and then goes down, right? So right now, I wouldn't be looking for any buys per se, unless I'm doing like a swing trade, unless I'm looking for a long-term trade. Then technically, I'm still in a higher trend, on a higher trend. So, but me personally, right now, I'm looking for a sell. Even though, like I said, we're in a uptrend, but it hasn't like identified that it's actually like reversed. But if you go in a lower time frame, which we're all gonna do, it's going down. So me, I will be looking for a sell when it comes to JPY. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I was getting a little confused on the trend on the various time frames. That's where I get confused when I jump from a higher time frame down to a lower time frame and not know where I'm getting in exactly.
Exactly. I mean, and that makes sense. So you have to know where what time frame you're going to be entering at, right? So some people like to enter at the 1 hour. Some people like to enter at the 5 minutes. Some people like to enter at the 1 minute. So at the end of the day, even though you see some type of a trend, at the end of the day, whatever decision you're going to make before you make that trade, you have to correlate that with whatever trend, whatever trend shit. I'm sorry. What word I'm looking for?
It's okay. Um,
So
so
yeah, whatever time frame you're trying to enter at, whatever it's telling you at that time frame, that's what you're gonna go with.
so if we're scalping, if we're just in and out for 20 pips and dips basically,
Yeah.
and we enter on the 5 minute and we
Mhm.
pull up the 20 pips and dips indicator,
Mhm.
um, basically we're just looking to see where we are in that 5 minute.
Mhm. So, yeah. So because that's where you're gonna be entering at. If you're gonna
Right.
do if you're gonna do the 20 pip dip, you're not gonna enter at 1 minute, 1 hour. Right?
No, no, not at all.
Yeah. So with the 20 pip and dip, the way that it's designed, you have to kind of like find out where is the where it's telling you where to buy and sell basically, right? And then go down to the 5 minute and kind of get your confirmation there, and then enter. Some people like to do the 1 minute. I've done the 1 minute. If I do the 1 minute every once in a while, but with this indicator, I like to enter at the 5 minute. But I have other strategies where I enter at the 1 minute, you know, because it works for me. So the 20 pip and dip, you can do the 5 minute or the 1 minute because you're only going for 20 pips, right? If you're doing anything more than that, then you might be able to utilize the indicator, but like it's not really designed for that, right? And obviously you know that by just how many buys and sells it's telling you, right? It's because that's how it's designed. If it was designed for you to catch more than 20 pips, you won't see a whole lot of sells and buys and sells and buys and sells and buys, right? So this is only to tell you, look, hey, sell. So look for a sell. And right now, technically, we're below the 50. So I'm going to be looking for a sell. And so this kind of confirms what I'm looking for. Again, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my line at that candlestick and then go down to the 5 minutes and then do this and then look, right? So as I stretch it out, as you can see with the trend lines, like right here, it kind of broke it and played around it a little bit, went up, went down, retested it, and it went up, and I was going back down again. So what I like to do is, I mean, if you want to be risky, if you're feeling some type of way, you can, by all means, you can go ahead and jump on this sell right now and catch your 20 pips. But me personally, I want to get some more confirmation, because if it looks like it's gonna go down, it's gonna break this line, right? And then once it breaks it, I'm gonna wait on some type of retest and then get on a safer trade. I'm not telling you're not gonna get 20 pips by just entering right now. I'm just saying it will be a whole lot, it will be safer for you to wait until we test that line and then jump on that sell. because you already have some type of confirmation that it's below that line. Because right now it can actually, you know, hit it and then go back up again. You never know. Just like it did here, right? Just like it kind of, I mean, it did it right here and then just like it did right here. So you see it said sell. So let's say you saw that sell and then you went down to the 5 minute. Let's say that when the sell came out at the 1 hour and then you got on the chart and then you like, oh, snap. It's saying sell, right? And it's below the 50. Let me jump on it, right? You would have jumped on that and you would have gotten 4 pips and it would have reversed on you. And right now you would have been on drawdown a little bit, but then you'll be winning right now. But like you're still like playing that that guessing game. And when it comes to trading, you don't want to be guessing. You want to be certain. You guess, you lose money, right? It's ain't gambling, So let me see what questions we have here. All right, so you're asking about a retest. So basically, what a retest means. So like whenever you draw your support and resistance lines, right? That means that. So for instance, you got your. So let me actually do this. All right. So let's say you got your market going like this, whatever, all right? And then you determine that this is your support, your support and resistance line. Stretch it out. Don't judge my drawing now. Terrible at this. All right. So you say this is your line. What am I doing, y'all? All right, right there. All right. So what I mean by retesting is, so right now, this is our support line. This is technically our support and resistance line. This is our support and resistance line, right? Technically, right? So what I mean by retesting is, like right now, it's showing me that it's going down. And let's just say that the price went up to this point. And then you're looking at it and it's at this point. When you look at it at this point, even though it's been going up, it still hasn't confirmed yet that it's going to keep going up. So what I mean by a retest is that you have to wait until it goes down to that support line and retests it and then goes up. That's when you're going to enter. So once it goes down to this line and it bounces off of it, that will be a safer trade for you to get on that buy. Because if you get on the buy, let's say you get on the buy right here, right? You get on the buy right here and it just does this. Then you lose that trade. So you always want to wait on the retest. So same thing when it goes down, right? So let's just say you're looking at it and it's right here. You got your support and resistance line right here, right? You don't want to get on that sell even though it's showing you that it's going down. You want to wait until it breaks that line, retests it, and then get on that sell to go down. Does that make sense, Nicole? All right, perfect. Cool. Any more questions? You're welcome. Anybody got any questions? Yes, no, maybe? Wait.
So far, so good. So far, so good, bro.
All right, cool. So let me go ahead and delete this. If I figure out how to do this, what is happening? Yo, hold on. There you go. All right, cool. So does that make sense? Like what I said here when I said that I want to wait until the retest. So like right here, as you can see, while we were talking, it broke that support and resistance line, and it retested it. So now we're gonna wait until this candlestick closes. If this candlestick closes, and then the next one is a bearish candle below that line, that would be enough confirmation for me to jump on that sell because we saw a retest, just like how I just explained, right? So it broke it, retested it, and then boom, goes down. And so yeah, so that's a retest. All right. So what I want to do right now is I want to look at something that already happened, right? So let's do this. We're just gonna give an example, and then we're gonna look at another pair. So let's go back to the 1 hour, and then I'm gonna do this. So I want to look at something that's around this support and resistance line. I'm not gonna look for something over here because I didn't mark up that area. So I'm gonna look at something in this area, right? So let's see what we're gonna do here. What do you guys think? Like, tell me when to stop. 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 Come on, tell me when to stop. Tell me when to stop.
Keep going. Keep going.
Ah,
All right, stop right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. Right here.
No,
right there,
yeah,
All right, right here.
right there.
Cool.
right there.
So this line right here,
there.
right? It was this line right here, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and press the replay, and I'm gonna go down to that line where y'all told me to stop at, right? So right here, what I'm doing is we're gonna go through an example. Obviously, we don't know what happened at this point. I didn't see what happened after it, so I can't even tell you what's gonna happen. All right. So right here, we see. So let's say we were at the market at this time, September 29th at 10 a.m. I'd be asleep at that time. I don't know about y'all, but anyway. So 10 a.m. on the 29th, we get on the market, and then this is what we see. You see a sell, and then we draw that vertical line, right? Right? And then we're gonna go down to the 5 minutes. So we get down to the 5 minutes, and this is what we see, right? This is the candlestick that we that we drew, and then we see that it went down. It kind of like broke our structure, broke our support and resistance line, and went down, broke it again, and then broke it again. And now, right now, it's kind of like wicking off of that line. It's not enough for me to get on that sell again, right? Because it hasn't like retested it yet, right? So the vertical line is for me to identify where that wick was. So if you go on the 1 minute, right? If you go on the 1 minute and then let's just say you don't draw that line. So let's just say you don't draw that line, right? So you don't know where you drew it at, and then you go down to the 5 minutes. Can anybody tell me which wick it was? Can anybody tell me? Anybody got like X-ray vision to tell me which wick it was? Anybody? Anybody?
Not even.
Anybody? All right. so that's the purpose of the vertical line. So the vertical line, it tells me where to look at. So if I do the 1 hour, and then I draw that vertical line at that specific wick, it will tell me exactly where that wick is at in the 5 minute mark, in the 5 minute time frame. Because obviously, when you're in the 1 hour 1 hour chart, every week represents 1 hour, and in the 5 minutes, every week represents 5 minutes. So if you draw a line and then you go down to the 5 minutes, all you have to do is go back and look at that line, and then kind of know exactly where that area is. So basically, that 1 hour wick, that 1 hour candlestick that we looked at, is all of these right here combined. So this is going to tell me exactly where that wrinkle that says sell was at. Does that make sense? Sharnette, did I pronounce it right? Sorry if I butchered it. Okay, good. But all right, so this is what I'm saying. So right now, I'm looking at the market at 10 o'clock, in my sleep, 9:55 actually. So I'm looking, right? So right now I'm waiting on this to show me something. I can be risky and jump on it because it's showing me a long candle. Like, hey, this is a sell, so I'm gonna jump on that sell. And then 1 hour told me sell. We're below the 50. All right, let's do it. But I ain't gonna do that, right? Because I'm risky, but I ain't that risky. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it and just see what it does. And as you can see, if let's say I jumped on it, I would be in drawdown right now because the next candlestick was, was different. All right. Okay. I mean, that's one way to do it too. That's one way to do it. But yeah, like you said, the vertical line is more accurate. It makes it super simple. right? It makes it super simple. All right, so right now, it reversed back, and then we're gonna look at the next one. Okay, so next one is the red candle. So I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting, even though it's we have two of them. I'm still not jumping on it because I'm still waiting on some other confirmations. I'm waiting on it to break that, retest it, and then jump on that sell. Right? So it broke it. Perfect. See? So even though it broke it, let's say you jumped on the trade where I told you earlier, even here, or whatever, you'd lose that trade because that is a long wick. I mean, 60, 65 pips. So you would have lost that trade just like that. Let's say you didn't wait on it to break that line, and then you just saw that red candle, and you're like, oh man, it's red. That means it's going down. I see two reds. Oh, easy money. Let's make it happen. Yeah, you would have lost that because you would have been in profit for a little bit, but the market would have like smacked you right there and told you, yeah, you're not getting this money. So right there, I would have been like, I'm done. I'm not even gonna look at it no more. At this point, I'll be looking at another pair because I'm waiting on my confirmation. Obviously, I didn't get that confirmation, so I'll be done with this. I wouldn't even be worried about what happens next. I'll be moving on to the next one. But let's just see what happens, right? So let's just say that you didn't have no stop loss. Again, I'm not saying don't put no stop loss on your trades now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. But let's just say you're one of those people. You didn't put no stop loss, right? So you're still in that trade. You would still be waiting to get in profit. That is why it's very important to put a stop loss on your trades. As you can see, you still be waiting. You still be waiting to get your money back, right? You still be waiting on your money to come back because they took your money. And at this point, is what time? Like, this is from like 9 o'clock in the morning. And then this is like 2:50, almost 3 o'clock. That's like 6 hours of just you being stressed out over nothing because you got on a trade that you wasn't supposed to get on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does
Yeah.
as well. Can we also like talk about the hammer before that huge candle?
Yep.
Before that 6 candle
That
as
hammer.
well?
Yep. That hammer right there. Yep. Exactly. So
Yeah.
I actually didn't even see that because I was talking, but I didn't see that. But this would have been this if I was in that trade and I saw that hammer right there, I would have got out right there. I would have got out like real quick. Because what this hammer is, this shows you that there's going to be some type of reversal. Like if you know your candlestick patterns, you know that a bullish hammer is going to tell you that hey, if it's been bearish, it's going the other way. So if you're smart, get out. If you don't know what you're looking for, you'd be losing. And that was a clear indicator that you need to get out of here. And if you didn't pay attention, you'd lose your money. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Going for 20 pips, like it would have hit your stop loss for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So let's say you entered
Unless
right
you
here,
have
right?
like 100 pip stop loss, which
Which
wouldn't
yeah,
make
which would not make any sense. But hey, I've seen crazy things now. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say nothing.
sense.
I'm not even gonna say nothing. But yeah, so let's just say you got on the trade right here, and then let's just say you're feeling bold, right? You're feeling bold. Like which one was it? Like we got on here, and then when we looked at it, it was over here, right? And then we seen that go down. Let's just say you entered right here at this candle, right? So 20 pips would have been like right here, right? Your 20 pips would have been right here. So you would have never even gotten into profit. You gotten into profit for a little bit, but then that long wick would have took you out.
Yeah.
That long candle would have took you out ASAP. So
I mean, to be honest, like for me, if it's too close to the 50 MA, I'm not taking the trade.
that's another
Like
good
if
that's another
it's
good point
just
too.
way too close for comfort, because that means it can go either way very easily.
Absolutely. That's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up because that's another thing that you got to look into too.
Don't touch your computer.
That's another thing that you got to look into. So if you're close to the 50 MA, that's too close to comfort, like Neri said. So
Yeah, you need to circle the
yeah,
5, make groups of 5.
exactly. So you gotta wait.
circle the
So
5 dots. So you make the groups of 5 too.
so I'm not even gonna look at this pair anymore. So I'm gonna look
5,
at another pair.
just like how you have 5 circled here, you're gonna circle 5 here.
All right. So what other pairs y'all got? Who said somebody said GA? All right, so we're gonna look at another example. We're gonna look at GA, but when I draw up GA, I don't want to look at. I'm not gonna look at where we're at right now. I'm gonna look at something that already worked or something that didn't work. Obviously, we just looked at an example that did not work. So that's. I'm glad that it didn't work because that's something that you have to look for. I didn't like in a way. I kind of was hoping for something that didn't work. I was hoping to get to see something that we would have lost that trade, or we wouldn't have an idea to like we wouldn't have enough to get in that trade, which that happened because we saw an example where you could not get on that trade or you was not supposed to get on that trade. So that's a good example for you to kind of like get your confirmations and know exactly when to get in and when to get out. So if that helped by any means, let me know. Drop a 1 in the chat. Like just drop a 1 in the chat. I just want a 1. That's all. Just a 1. There you go. I like the engagement. That's what I like. That's what I'm talking about. What up, Zelly? All right, so you want to see, so what did we get? What did we have? GA. So we're going to look at GA. Where is GA at? I personally hate GA, by the way, but I'm going to look at it though. All right, so we're going to go to the 1 minute. You love GA, Sylvia? I don't know what to tell you now. Sorry to hear that. I mean, hey, if GA making you money, then hey, by all means, do what you got to do, Hey, there you go. She's treating you good. Okay. I wish I could say the same about my baby, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now. We're gonna leave that one alone. So GA. Let's look at GA real quick. All right. So yeah, GVPs don't play. I know. Trust me, I know. All right, so we're gonna go down to the line chart, all right? And the price is at right there. So I'm gonna let y'all actually do my lines for me. So who wanna volunteer? I need a volunteer. I need somebody to tell me where to draw my next line.
What your next line?
Yeah, on my top line. So where should I go? Where should I go? Tell me when to stop.
I'd probably go just to that that wick to that left.
Right here, this one?
The one, yeah, that one.
This one?
Daddy, can I watch
Actually,
TV?
No, you
the
can't
one,
watch TV. Bye.
just the one to the left. I'd probably put it to the one to the left.
To the one to the left. This one right here?
Yeah, that one.
All right,
That's where I'd personally put it. Yeah.
that's what I would do too. Yo, can I go back to your room, please? Man. Anyway, so that's what I would do anyway. That's what I would do. So I agree with you. And what's the next one? Where y'all want me to do the next one? I need somebody else now. I don't want Chris. Chris, you talked enough. I need somebody else to engage.
It's a little, just go a little further up from there. There are a couple points up.
Right here?
Yeah.
Or right here? Which one?
Hold on. You're moving too fast.
Right.
I'm going to slap you more.
And I know you would.
Is this being recorded?
It is recorded, actually. So that's why I'm trying to behave
Yeah.
now. That's why I'm trying to behave. All right. So
Okay, there.
right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all agree with this? Do y'all agree with this line? Do y'all agree with Neri?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Perfect. All right, give me a second, guys. Somebody's telling me they can't get in. Give me 1 moment. All right. come back. So, all right, cool. So, next line. So I need 2 lines on the bottom now. Who gonna be the next volunteer?
Mo, would it have been
Volunteer.
wrong to put it on the current? I would have put it mine on the current top line.
So this
with
is the
price.
current line. So you're saying
I'm
where?
sorry. At the last top peak, the very last, very top.
So you
all
talking
the
about
way
this
up.
one right here?
Yeah, I would have did that one. Would
Okay,
that have
I
been
mean,
wrong?
nah, that would not have been wrong. That would have been a valid support and resistance line, but with the purpose that I'm doing, like, so the reason why I'm doing this is because of the 20 pip and dip, right? So with the 20 pip and dip, you're only going for 20 pips. So
Right.
let's see how many pips that is away from the price. That's 100 and something pips, 100 pips away. So technically, I mean, it's a valid line. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's not a valid line, but it's just not relevant to what we're doing.
Okay.
Because we're only going for 20 pips and we're out. So technically, you don't really need to do all that. You don't need to draw something that's 100 pips away from where you're at this point, because you're not going to get to that point anyway.
Gotcha. Okay.
Make sense?
Gotcha. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna still leave it on there though, because you know you suggested it, so I'm gonna leave it on there. I got
Okay.
you. All right, so I need something on the bottom. How, Perry, since you told me to draw that, I want you to tell me where to draw one on the bottom. If you were to draw one on the bottom, where would you do? Where would you put it at?
Well, being that you just explained that, and I want to go to, like you said, closer to get the 20, I
Okay.
am thinking, well, because of it being closer. Okay, right there, yeah.
Right here?
Uh-huh.
All right, so let's see. So right here, right?
Yeah, right.
All right, so we got a line right there. And I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that line. You know? I don't know if everybody else is, but I'm okay with it. Right? So, and then where would be the next one at? Anybody else? I need somebody else. I'm gonna pick on Zelly. Zelly, you've been quiet. What's up, Zelly? I just love picking on Zelly. Come on, Zelly, unmute yourself and tell me where you want it at. She ain't gonna unmute herself though, for real. That's how you feel. What about you, Savvy? Savvy, I know you there. Oh, so that's how y'all gonna do me?
Oh man.
That's how I feel. Hey, Ahmed, that's my brother, by the way. Ahmed Diallo, that's my brother. So, hey, what up, Ahmed? So where you want to put your next line at?
All right. I guess you're gonna pick on me.
Why not? You're my little bro, so hey, what's up? Where you want it at?
I'd say go up, go down a little bit,
Right
go
here?
down. Yeah, right there.
Right here?
Yeah, right there.
Why right there?
I'm going all the way back, and I'm looking at right there.
Okay.
And then that one right there.
Right here too.
Yeah, right
Kind of
there.
right here too, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a valid line, but I see another one above that, because what I want to do is I want to do what's closest, the next closest one. So this obviously is the next one, and then the next after that I would say somewhere around here, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So me personally, this is what I mean. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this is wrong. As much as I want to say it,
Yeah, how many pips is that?
From here.
Yeah.
Let me see. From where the price is at.
Yeah.
To here, that's about 65 pips, 67 pips.
That's a little far.
Yeah, I mean it's a little far, but it's not too. It's not too far. Sorry, y'all. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw that line right here. I'm gonna leave your line on there, but I'm gonna go ahead and draw another one. All right, cool. So we're good. We got our trend lines. We got our support and resistance lines and everything. So we're good. I don't want to put no more trend straight support and resistance lines on there. All right. So y'all okay with these lines, right? Everybody's okay with these lines?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So,
Sorry, Mo, can I just ask you to do one thing before you go on?
sure, what's up?
Can you just show again what did you click on to see how many pips it was? I didn't see what icon you clicked on.
Yeah, so it's this one, the ruler icon. So if you go in here, it would say measure.
I'm sorry, I'm not seeing anything that you're
Oh,
pointing at.
you're not seeing anything. Okay, so when you go on, can you see where my Demba? Can you chill out? Hold on, give me a second, bro. Like, okay, go ahead. I don't care. Just go away, please. I'm sorry, y'all. So what I was saying. So right here on the left side, you see where your icons are. Can you see where my cursor is right now?
No. Yeah.
Can you see it now? All right. So when can you still see it? Can you still see it?
No.
You can't.
Okay, I'm seeing it now.
Okay, so you see on the left side on your trading view on the left side where you have all the little icons and whatnot. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So you will see one that looks like a ruler.
Okay.
And it will say measure. Do you see that right now?
Yeah, man.
Okay, so when you click on that, all you have to do is just click on where you're gonna start at. Just a simple click, and then just drag it, and then click on where you want to stop, and that will tell you how many pips that is.
Okay.
Right? And
Okay,
another,
thank you.
you're welcome. And another good thing about it too, like let's say you want to calculate how many pips, if let's say you got on the trade right here and you got out right here, right? You just want to see whatever. So you would click on that point and then stop at where you're at, and it will tell you how long it took to get to that point. You see, it says 1 day and 4 hours, and then it was 278 pips. So that's another little, a little tool to kind of see how long it takes to get to that pip. So
Okay, cool. Thanks.
you're welcome. All right, so let me see. All right, so right now, are we in an uptrend or are we in a downtrend? Let me go ahead and do the candles. Uptrend or downtrend? Uptrend or downtrend?
I think
Looks
up.
like it's consolidating.
Yeah, a little bit.
Up, but moving up.
Yep,
And yeah.
I agree. It's consolidating a little bit, but it's still an uptrend. It's still an uptrend. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw my uptrend line right there. Again, I'm not doing this one right here because if I draw it right here, I can see that it has respected it a lot more than these 2 points. So again, that goes back to when you draw your lines or whatnot, just do what is comfortable to you, right? So this is my line. This is where my line is gonna be. I'm not gonna do a channel because it didn't really respect it that much. As you can see, it just played around. It's not respect. Well, actually, here, let me see. I'll go ahead and draw one right here, just to kind of give me that visual. You know what I mean? Even though it's not super accurate, but it's still kind of giving me that visual because it's a channel technically. It respected it here, 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 and then it just broke out, retested it, kept going up, it went back down, broke it, retested it, and then it just played around it a little bit, and then it just broke it out again. So it's a valid channel. It didn't respect it that much, but it did, right? So I'm gonna leave it on there. All right. So anything else y'all want to add on this here on this chart? Anything else I forgot to add on here that y'all want to suggest?
EMA.
EMA. All right. So which EMA?
I'm only familiar with the 9.
Okay, so the non-EMA. So I mean, obviously there's a lot of EMAs that you can use. Me personally, I use the 5 and the 13 and the 50. So I mean, the 5 and the 13. That's a whole nother strategy. I can go over it after I'm done with the 20 pip and dip strategy, so that way people can have an understanding on what's going on with the 20 pip and dip. All right. So we can do the EMA later after I'm done here. All right.
Is
All
that
right, so
essential head and shoulders
where?
right there, where price is coming from?
Yeah. I mean, you said inverted, or it is a head and shoulder?
Well, it could be both ways.
Yeah. I mean, right there, I see the shoulder, head, another shoulder, and then went down. So
Looking at the bigger picture.
okay, you're looking at the bigger picture. So tell me when to stop.
So that would be one.
Okay, so yeah, one here,
And then
kind
you
of right there.
go straight through, right?
So
And then
right here.
and it goes down,
Okay.
right? And then it goes back up.
Uh-huh.
And then maybe a next shoulders. I don't know.
I wouldn't say that that's a valid one, really, because like with the head and shoulders, like let me draw it right here.
Right. Isn't that the shoulders usually have more like points lined up beside each other, like one of them where you could probably like make a curve over it?
Yeah, I mean you can have that. Yeah, you can have that, but let me show you here. So basically, with head and shoulders, what you want to see is you want to see that the shoulders kind of line up in some type of way. And so right here, you're saying like this is the first shoulder. Is that what you're saying, right?
No.
Where's your first shoulder at?
Before. From
Where?
over here, right. Right there. Right.
Okay, so this is your first shoulder, right?
Right.
Going down, right?
Right.
Okay, first shoulder, the head,
Down and then it goes back up.
and then shoulder. Yeah, so yeah, that is the head and shoulder. Yeah, because you have it going this way. This is the first shoulder, the head, and then the next shoulder, and then it kept going up. So yeah, that is an inverted head and shoulder.
Yeah.
So you are correct.
Yeah, that one does make more sense there. I thought she was talking the one closer to the end of the price.
Yeah, I mean the end of the price, I see a head and shoulder like a valid. I mean, kind of like a well, not really, because it's not really lining up. So I see a trend break and then it went down, but it's I wouldn't say it's a head and shoulder though. All right,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's what I'm seeing. I don't know why this keeps drawing. All right, cool. So what is happening,
But
yo?
Mo, before you go on, what would you do with that though?
What do you mean?
The head and shoulder that looking at it now and seeing that there,
Yeah,
how much attention would you pay to that?
yeah. So I would pay a lot of attention to it actually. So if you have that head and shoulder forming right here, as she just explained, it went down, went up, went down, went up, and then you have the next shoulder. So that would tell me that at this point,
Continuation.
yeah, it would be a continuation. So because you got the first head, the first shoulder, and then the second shoulder. So you would draw a line, right? As soon as it, so this is the neckline, right? So as soon as it breaks that neckline for the second time, like right here after that shoulder, and it retests it, boom, get on that buy. You would have caught how many pips? You would have caught what? 100 pips? I mean, I
No,
take
no,
out
I'm
of this.
talking like analyzing it now to get in. Like looking at it now.
So looking at it right now, it's irrelevant. Us actually, like right now, it's
Gone. That move is
yeah,
gone already.
yeah. That move is gone. That move, it's
Okay,
like
right.
whatever's going on right now
That's
has
what I
nothing to do
wanted
with
to
that.
know.
Okay, yeah. You fine. So right now, that move, it was relevant at the point, but right now it's not relevant, right? So let's go ahead and put that 20 pip and dip indicator in there and see where we're at. All right. So right now, it's telling me that we're in a buy, and it's still going up. So I wouldn't even analyze this because it's way far out. Even if I do the 5 minutes, it's gonna be like super far out. See what I'm saying? So I would wait on another one. I would wait on another Renko just to kind of get back on it, right? Because this is like super far. Because I missed out on that. Let's say when that happened and I caught it at that time, I would be at least at about like 40 pips. So I'm way late on that. So I'm not even gonna worry about it. Even though I probably wouldn't have gotten on it until it breaks to 50 MA and plus. Again, like Neri said earlier, it's super close to the 50 MA. I'm not even gonna. I'm good on that. So I will go on to the next pair. But I'm gonna go ahead and look at another example. Hopefully we win this trade, right? So who's gonna tell me where to stop at?
Yep, right there.
All right, right here, right here,
Yes.
right, right,
Yep, right there.
right here, right here.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, right
So,
there.
so we're gonna go ahead and do the replay. We're gonna go do that line right there. Cool. So, all right. So right here, when we got on the market, the last thing I saw was a sell.
Go, Daddy.
Give me a second, all right? I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Give me a second. Nora, can you please just please, please. Just, I want you to stay in the room. Just, okay, it's pretty. I like it. I love it. Bye. Thank you. Um. Anyway, so I drew that line right there, right? And I go down to the 5 minutes, right? So 5 minutes, and it told me to sell, right? That's what it told me, right? It told me to sell or buy. I don't even remember. Yeah, it told me to sell. So I go down to the 5 minutes. All right. So right here, I'm literally like when I drew that line, I'm above it. So that's not even valid to me. So what I want to do usually when it's above the 50 EMA, I want to see where it breaks first. Like when it breaks below that 50, that's when I'm gonna jump on it. All right. So let's just say I looked at it and then now it already broke it, and then I've gotten a couple pips. I mean couple of candlesticks. Um, I'm gonna wait a little bit because this is not really telling me. This is a doji. A doji is an indecision, so it's not really telling you a whole lot. And then this right here kind of looks like a hammer forming up, which means this is a reversal. So I'm just gonna wait until this candlestick closes, just to see what it's gonna tell me. So boom, see, obviously with that, what Chris said earlier, that tells me that it's gonna go up, and it did go up. So it's not invalid. I'm gonna wait. All right.
Yes, sir. Those
I'm not.
candlesticks are the truth.
Yeah, so I'm not even gonna jump. I'm not even gonna jump on this trade. Like at this point, when I'm waiting this long and I'm still not getting the confirmation, I'm done. I'm moving on to the next pair. All right. So I actually want to look at. I want to look at something that actually worked. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. All right. Don't judge me, y'all. I see a big move right there. So let's just go to that point. All right. So let's just go to the next one right here. It didn't give me that buy for a minute. Oh, actually, right there. My bad, y'all. I'm tripping. Hold on. Let me do this one right here. All right. So let's say. All right. So let's just say right here, right? I get on here. Let me see. Put it right here. So I get in the market, and then this is what I see, right? This is what I see. I'm in the 1 minute, y'all. I'm tripping. Hold on. Let's put it on this one, actually. All right. Let's just do this. So we see that long buy, candle, right? And then I'll draw my line at that point, right? And then I will go to the 5 minutes. I'll go down to the 5 minutes. I see that it's confirming it. I'm above the 50. I see that it's reversing down again. So what I want to do is I want to see it, reverse it again, right? Or, go across that line, right? So let's see. Let's see if it does that. So right there, it broke it and it retested it. So that tells me to jump on that bar, right? Because it broke it and retested it. All right. So let's say we're gonna jump on that bar. Where's my thing at? So let's just say we jump on it right here, right? We're going for 20 pips. Actually, what I want to do is I want to wait until it closes, because you don't want to. This is another little tip. Whenever you see a candlestick forming, wait until that candlestick closes, and then the next one opens before you jump on that trade, because that's when you get a clear picture. Because right now what it's showing me, it's going up, but there's no telling where it's going to end at, because it could literally be a red candle. So what I want to do is I want to wait till the next candle, and then I see that it's turning blue, so I would jump on it, right, for 20 pips. Ooh, that would have been close. It looks like it hit our TP. Yeah, it hit our TP right there. So this would have been a winning trade, and it would have kept going. So let's see how long it took us to get to TP. So we grab our ruler, go from here to where we're at. So that would have been a 5-hour trade, which is not too bad. 5 hours to get 20 pips, it's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, even when the next candle, so even when the next candle opens, it's indicative, but like it's a little bit more accurate than getting in a trade in the middle of a candlestick. You want to wait until that candlestick closes, so that way you know exactly what that candlestick did. To yeah, so and then jump on the next one. All right. Anybody got any questions about a 20 pip and dip?
Yes.
What you got?
So Mo, I don't want to be sitting for 5 hours. I want to get in and out. So if the 20 pips and dips and I'm jumping down to the 5 minute to take the trade,
Mhm.
and I can just take my 20 pips in and out, I don't want to be waiting like an hour, 2, 3, 5 hours for a trade to do that. So is that
Mhm.
possible?
It is possible, but you cannot control what the market does. You can only do what the market gives you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to make $1 million, but I'm not going to make it in one day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you always have to, like I said earlier, you have to react to what the market is doing. We all would love to get in a trade for an hour and get 20 pips, 20 minutes and get 20 pips, a pip a minute. That would be perfect, right? But that's not how it works. You might get like you might like for instance, like let's say you got on it right here, right? You got on it right here. You would have gotten your 20 pips in 10 minutes. You see?
Exactly.
You would have gotten it in 10 minutes, but there's no way for you to know exactly how long you're gonna have to sit there. So patience is key. Patience is key. Right? Patience is key. So you cannot get in the market and expect to just be on there for 10, 20 minutes and catch your 20 pips, because that's not how it works. Sometimes it may work your way, but most times it won't work your way. Does that make sense? So there's not
Yeah,
like,
it does.
yeah, there's not like a strategy to say, yo, if you do this, you're gonna get 20 pips in 20 minutes. Neri, you know where I'm going. I'm not even gonna say nothing.
I see you. I see you. I see you.
You know?
It's possible, but not all the time.
Exactly. It's possible, but not all the time. You know, so you don't want to have that mindset of saying, okay, I'm gonna, yo, can y'all go back in your room, please? Man. Um. Anyway,
Miss
so
your daddy.
I exactly that's what it is. They, yeah, yeah.
um, I only asked that Mo because I when I used to watch um, Coach Max mornings, and she
Mhm.
used to do UJ 20 pips and dips, and like we were in and out, like, and it was done.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I was asking, was with this 20 pip and dip strategy,
Mhm.
does it work the same way?
It
It's
does.
not going to work that way all the time for all the pairs, because it also depends on when those pairs move. If there's news, there's so many things that can affect it happening in 20 minutes. Like me and Mo were on the chart last night and we took a trade and we got 20 pips in, was it 15 minutes more or 20 minutes?
What? Huh? Say what now?
How
Sorry.
long did it take for us to get 20 pips this morning? Was
Oh, you
it
talking about this morning?
or
It was like
15?
15, 20 minutes, something like that.
Right, but it was GU, which moves at a certain time
Hmm.
and it moves quickly. If you're gonna do like AJ or AU, you might be waiting for a while, and it depends again on the time that they move, because
Yep.
you don't
Yes.
necessarily get that with GU all the time either. GU might take even hours to give you 20 pips if it's not in that session.
I
Exactly.
understand. I understand.
Mhm.
So like this one was, it was actually
But
45 minutes.
it's not realistic to expect it to happen all the time.
Exactly. So yeah, so that's the thing. You have so you have to take into consideration what pair you're trading and what time of the day you're trading, because pairs move differently depending on on the hour of the day or the time of the day, right? So for instance, like she told you with GU, last night when we traded it, it was at 2 a.m. Right? It was at 2 a.m. and that's when it moves the most, right before London session. And as you can see, like during London session, like let's say here, let's just say you got on the trade right here, you would have gotten your 20 pips in what, like literally 10 minutes. You would give me that, give me that. Bye, bye. So that would have been 20 pips in 10 minutes, right? You agree? So this is
Yeah.
because this was during London session. So you know that GU was gonna move during London session, and just like how you say, you used to get on her sessions in the morning. What did UJ? UJ is, you have USD in there, so it's gonna move during New York session. So the morning session is obviously that's New York session. So yeah, you're gonna have a lot more opportunities to catch 20 pips in less time than normal. But if you trade UJ in at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? It's not gonna move. It's not. You might get the 20 pips, but it's not gonna take you 10 minutes. It may take you 5 hours, like we just showed.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. All right. Anybody got any questions? Don't be shy, y'all.
I was
Bro, I
just
really don't have it.
wondering, so when are we going to oh sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
Ladies first.
Sorry. I was just gonna say like a joke, but I don't think it's appropriate.
We all want to
But
hear it.
what you want to hear it? I was gonna say, so when are you going to get us a team private jet?
And whenever I find those two people, we good, man. Whenever I find those two people that have that jet and that yacht, we on there, man. We gonna get it. What's up, Jasmine?
I just want to, drop my 2 cents, right?
Go
Because I
ahead.
always do that.
Of course. Do what
So
you
I
do.
see that there's barely we got 32 people that's on this call here. I'm quite sure that most of you guys should be fairly new to trading. And what I want to say is there's a difference between like UJ, GU, and then US 30, GR 30. Like they move completely different. Like GR 30 and your indices, like they're going to move a lot faster, right? However, if you haven't gotten the basics, stay away from it, right? And the only reason the only reason that I say that is because I see a lot of times when we get on these calls, even with Sis when she does her calls on Mondays, like a lot of people ask a lot of questions necessarily dealing with indices, and indices move completely different than your basic pairs. But at the same time, if you look at Coach Max when she's talking about, if you get on her calls, she's trading those whatever pair she's trading, like GU. Of course, that's during New York session, as Mo was saying. So just understand whatever pair that you're trading. I would say same thing that I said last night. Mark up the chart several times before you even enter into that trade, just so that you get comfortable and you understand your pair, the pair that you're going to stick with. Does that make sense for everybody?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Roger that.
So just make so just make sure that whatever pair you're gonna do, until you have literally, honestly, if I'm not telling you guys not to take signals, right? And I'm not telling you guys not to mark up, the indices. However, stay away from them until you feel comfortable with your pair. Like my pair is GU and GJ.
You in the house. Hello.
Jazz, you gonna give a signal for GJ tonight?
I might,
Yeah.
I may mark it up, but I'm one of the people, what I'm telling you guys I do, right? So example, I haven't really been trading a lot this week, but I've been marking up charts just to see, okay, if what I'm looking at actually happens.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So if I
think
say,
it's
okay, I mark up this
important
chart,
to-
huh?
It's more important to study than to trade.
Right.
Well,
So
just
that's
what Sylvia
something.
said.
That's something that I personally have been doing, and right now this week I'm actually 5 for 5 as far as marking up.
Woo!
Right. But I just like,
awesome.
okay, well, I feel like it's gonna go up and then it's gonna come right back down, and that's exactly what happened. So eventually, once you build up your confidence with your markups, your trading style and you taking these trades are gonna come a lot easier. Remember, we gotta crawl before we walk, and walk before we run. But I ain't gonna preach to y'all tonight because y'all know I can talk, but I ain't gonna do it tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Can I add to that as well? Like, I haven't, look, literally this week, I haven't taken any live trades at all, apart from last night, and at one, it was a GU trade. I got my 20 pips and just got out because I've literally spent all this week, back testing, and I've been, trading obviously less than a year, and it's it doesn't matter how much you know and how experienced you are. I just feel like it's just of benefit to just sometimes just take some times and just practice in the demo account. I posted some results from just back testing something I want to learn for myself. There's no shame in using a demo to test what or what you think you learned. And you're not really risk putting your own money at risk when you're trying to implement something that you might have learned, and it's something that I love as well. Just back testing and just getting used to all the knowledge that we're gaining here as well, and even with indices as well, those things hurt. I've personally lost bloody $500+ in 2 seconds by trading indices and getting revenge trading. And there was actually something that Jeffrey said to me. Jeffrey said, you shouldn't be trading US 30 or JER 30 unless you've been trading over a year. But you shouldn't take those things lightly either. When they say just master one pair or 3 pairs, just do your pair, do you. You don't need to do anything fancy. You don't need to do anything special. You don't need medals. It's just just stick to the regular pairs and just build your account. It's literally all you need. It's like keeping up with the Joneses by going for the fancy stuff. And sometimes the boring stuff works. And I just wanted to just add that to somebody as well. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Fire.
One last thing. So everybody that's on this call, because I'm quite sure you guys were not on the mindset call yesterday. Some people were. We have another homework assignment. Nairi, what was that homework assignment?
Mark up a chart.
Yes, ma'am.
We
Pick
need to
one
mark
pair.
up the chart, show the trend as clearly as possible. Yep, I saw some homework submitted today. Good job, you all, for submitting that. Honestly,
It's account.
I'm seeing so much growth in our family. I'm so proud of you all, honestly.
And speaking of mindset calls, on Sunday, me and Pip, man, we got something for y'all. Just saying. Stay tuned.
Can't
Stay
wait.
tuned. We got something for y'all.
It better be that private jet, man. You still like
I
so
mean, hey, you know what? You can every time you mention that, it's gonna take longer, bro. Like, you know what I mean? You just gotta let it happen. You just gotta let it happen naturally, man. You know, it's gonna happen. Don't worry. We got this. We're gonna come to Australia and get you, and we're gonna be traveling all over the world, man. All of us. We got
Australia.
this.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man, no
Yeah.
doubt.
That's what. Yeah, he's in Australia. Yeah. So.
Oh man, my parents wouldn't know themselves if we get like one of those private helicopters and you like land in my yard and just say,
Oh my
all right,
God!
see
Can
you
you
guys,
imagine?
when I'm coming back. But yeah.
Hey, we be in the news. We be in the news like, yo, what they doing? You know, but it's
With
gonna
like an
happen
epic
though.
logo or something on it, like a private epic helicopter.
Telling you, man. Telling you. Facts. Hey, Neri, you want to tell them about that strategy? Y'all want to learn a new strategy, y'all? Y'all want to learn something new?
Right now.
Drop a one if you want to learn something new, yo.
Pure one. One bag of one.
There you go. One bag of one. I like that. There you go. Alrighty, that's what I like to hear. There you go. See, I like the engagement. I like the engagement. This is how I know if y'all paying attention or not. I like that. I see that y'all paying attention. That's what's up. All right. So, hey, Neri, what did you call that strategy again? I'm just, what did you call that? What? Just
Call it
let
the
him know.
Momo
Just
strategy.
let him know. Let him know. All
That's
right.
the Momo strategy. You have to patent that.
Hey, I'm about to. Trust me. You know?
Mo,
Yes.
don't forget the EMA you was going to show us as well.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. So let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna do that
Thank
first,
you.
all right? And I'm gonna show y'all the
Thank you.
strategy. I got you. All right. So with the 15. So what I used, I said I used the 15. I mean the 5, the 13, and the 50. Right. Obviously, everybody calls them ketchup, mustard, or mayo. I call them the same. So my ketchup is the 5, which is the red, and my 15 is the mayo. I mean the mustard, and then the 50 is the mayo. Right. So the way that my strategy works is if I see that the ketchup and the mustard cross, right? If they cross, that means that it's telling me that there's some type of reversal. So if the market is going a certain way, which in this way is going up, I see those two crossed right here. That tells me that there is some type of reversal going on, right? So my third confirmation will be that it should be below the 50 EMA, which is the Mayo. So in order for you to get on a sell, you have to have those two happen below the Mayo. So right here, I'm showing that there's a reversal, but it's not enough confirmation for me to get on that sell. All right? Does that make sense? Yeah? No? Maybe?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it makes sense.
All right, perfect. So what I usually do is I go on a lower time frame because anyway, so I will go down to the lower time frame. So I'm gonna go ahead and just replay it, right? So let's just say we were right here, right? And then I seen that there's a reversal, right? I see that they crossed. That means it's telling me that because it's been going up, and I see that the ketchup and the mustard are reversing. So it's telling me that there's gonna be a reversal, but I'm still above the 50 EMA. I usually go down to the 5 minutes because that's where I usually enter either in 5 minutes or the 1 minute. So when I go to the 5 minutes, I verify it again. I see that it's crossed below the 50, and that would be my confirmation. So I'm not just basing it off of just that, but this is two confirmations right here. So all you need is the third one, right? So let's say you had let's just say you drew your lines and you had the support and resistance right here, right? And then it kind of broke it. You see that break right there on top of this crossing and on top of this being below the 50 EMA. That would have been enough confirmation for me to jump on that sell, right? And as you can see, if you were going for 20 pips, you would have gotten your 20 pips, right? As soon as it retests it, you get on the sell for 20 pips right there. 1 hour and 30, well, actually less than that. Like 1 hour and 15 minutes. So the key is if it reverses in a sell market, make sure that it's below the 50 EMA to get your confirmation. Again, you want to go down to the 5 minute because I don't know if you're a scalper or you're a day trader or you're a swing trader. Me, I'm a scalper. So my confirmation always comes up in the 5 minute or the 1 minute, right? So if I go down to the 5 minute and I see that it crossed below the 50, and then let's just say, like I said, I had some type of zone. So technically this would have been a zone right here because this would have been a zone, right? Was that you that said that you rather draw zones than support and resistance lines, or was it Sylvie? Oh, Sylvia, sorry, Sylvia. But I mean it's still the same thing, same thing. So if it breaks it, you see the cross right here, and it's below the 50, and it crosses your zone, all right, and that would be your confirmation. So you got 1, 2, 3 confirmations right there. So that's enough confirmation for me to jump on that sell. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'm gonna go over another example where it's going up, right? So let's just see. So actually, I'm gonna go back to the 1 hour. I'm gonna just let it play until I see it crossing again, right? Let me just zoom it in so we can have a better visual. All right, so this is moving way too fast for me. Hold on. All right. All right, so you see right there? You see right there where the ketchup and the mustard crossed? Right? You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so it crossed, but it's still below the 50. So I'm going to go down to the 5 minute just to see where it's at. All right? What is that? Do y'all see that? Yo, do y'all see this?
What is that?
I don't know. What's happening?
Oh.
Yo. I'm sure this is not supposed to happen. So, I don't know what's going on right now. Huh?
What's that? Hang on. Hey, what? Hang on.
What,
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
y'all see what I'm seeing, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. That's the
Like an elastic band.
So I'm gonna get. Okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna zoom it in. All right. So I'm gonna zoom it in. And then you can always go down to like your line chart just to kind of give you kind of like a better visual, right? A better visual. So as you can see, it's crossing right here, right? It's crossing right here, and it's above the 50. Let me see. Let me go back to the candles. And it's reversing a little bit. So right now I would be feeling a little bit uncomfortable until it goes back up again. So I'll be waiting. So this is actually would be selling. So I wouldn't be looking for any buys no more because that right there, it crossed above the 50, but I was waiting on another confirmation just to see if it's going to continue going up, right? And then right here it crossed, but it's still above the 50. I wouldn't have jumped in right away, right? But once it closes below the 50 EMA, this would have been my confirmation to jump on it, right? Because if it crossed and it's still like that close to the 50 EMA, I would wait for the next candlestick that closes below the 50 and then jump on that sell. And if I did that, I would have gotten my 20 pips and dip. All right. Does that make sense, y'all? Does that
Yes,
make
it
Yes.
sense?
does. Yeah.
Anybody got any other questions about the 50 and the 5 or 13 EMAs?
Cool.
No, that was good.
All right, good, good.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bro.
So just to clarify, is that the 5 and 13 that is crossing
Yeah,
before you
that's
enter?
yeah. So the 5 and the so my red is my 5. The 13 is my 6 is my yellow one, and then the 50 is my white one. So it's crossing right here above the 50. Confirmation for me to get on that buy, right?
Awesome. Awesome.
All right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Nora, can you please just give me a couple minutes, okay? Okay. I'm sorry that he bit you. He bit her.
Oh no.
Anyway, but
The-
yes. So any more questions about this? Y'all good with the 50 EMAs and 13? I'll go over it again if y'all want me to. I mean, I'm gonna keep going over them every week. Every time I get on the call, I'll go over them because every day every time I get people that that want to learn more about it. Exactly,
Yeah.
Erica, exactly. To answer your question, so basically like let's say I get on the 5 minute and it's still below it, what I usually do is I would wait until it crosses it and it closes above that white line, that 50 EMA, and then still see that that's so like let's say that this cross happened before that this candlestick closed above the 50. If it happened before it crossed the 50, right, then that would be still valid, right? But if it's still showing me that it's in a bearish kind of market, like let's say that I'm still showing that I'm still showing that this happened, which means it's telling me that it's going down, right? And then this candlestick closed above the 50. I wouldn't jump in right away because I'm still not seeing this crossed again. Because at this point, I'm still showing that it's going down because the last time that these two crossed, it was showing me that it's going down, right? Even though this is a bullish candle that closed above the 50, still not enough confirmation for me to jump on the buy because the last time that it crossed, it was telling me that it was in a sell, right? So I would wait until the next time that it crosses, which is literally right after that candlestick, and then I'm still above the 50. So that's confirmation enough for me to get on the buy because I'm already above the 50 and it's already telling me that it's going to be buying. So this would have been a sniper entry. Like this would have been a perfect entry. If not here, the next candlestick. And if you're going for 20 pips, you would have gotten your 20 pips. Easy. You would have gotten your 20 pips right here within 35 minutes. 35 minutes, you would have gotten your 35 pips. So if we would have gotten in on this trade, 40 minutes ago, we would have gotten our 20 pips. Right? So if you was looking at the market at 8:15 and then you seen this and you only going for 20 pips, you would have gotten your 20 pips. And it's obviously still going. You wouldn't gotten even more than 20 pips if you wanted to be greedy, which is not a cool thing, but some people do that, including me. But anyway, that's on another topic. All right. That's a teaser on Sunday's session. So just saying. But yeah, so that would have been 20 pips right there. All right. Anything else?
That was good. Great session. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So I wanted to go over another little strategy that I kind of found out on my own just by doing some back testing and whatnot. right? So I'm not gonna keep y'all long here. I know we almost at 2 hours, all right?
I love it.
So
I love it, man. I can like hang out here all day.
I know, but we all got stuff to do, man. As y'all can see, my kids are driving me crazy, man. So I gotta get off real quick, man. You know, they
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah.
sure.
So and I know everybody else trying to get off too. So I just wanted to, do a quick little brief. I did a little bit about it last week, but like, I just wanted to go over it again. And this little strategy, obviously, most of y'all already know that GU is my ride or die. You know, that's my baby. So I trade her every day, no matter what. You know, win, lose, or draw. So by doing some back testing and me being, me trading her for a while or whatnot, I kind of found my own little, my own little strategy, and it's been working. Obviously, Neri can tell you about it, and I know a couple people on here that know about it too. Um, is Esther here? No, I don't see her. But anyway, so Neri, you want to tell them a little bit about this strategy? You want to give them a little, you want to give them a little, a little, presentation or whatever.
A little sauce.
No,
A
why
little
you
bit
I
of
was gonna say
sauce.
sauce,
what
man.
for?
Sauce, man.
Nah,
No,
so
you're gonna have to help me through it because you did.
I,
I did it last night,
I
real quick.
got you.
Right.
I got you. And last night when we did that, we won, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. So
And,
how many
and,
how, how
and,
many how
and
many pips was it? How many was it, like 30 something pips, something like that?
yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So basically, it's pretty simple. So as you guys can see, I got these boxes in my GU, right? I got all these boxes in my GU. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why I have these boxes in there. So these boxes are basically, my agent session box. So they go from 5 p.m. Eastern time zone until 2 a.m. Eastern time zone, right? So what I usually do is I go down to the 1 minute. That's why I enter, right? I go to the 1 minute, and then I go down to where the box just closed, which is at 2 a.m., right? So what I usually do is I wait until 2 a.m. and then I hop on my charts, right? So when I hop on my charts, I go down to the 1 minute. It's 2 a.m. So what I usually do is so I would look at my first 4 or 5 candles. If I see it going, if I see it forming an M, I automatically hop on the sell. If I see it forming a W, I automatically hop on a buy. And it never fails. Like, you might think it's simple. Like, you might literally think that, yo, this can't work. But I'm telling y'all, it works every time. And it always going to give you 20, at least 20. If you're going for 20 pips, this is literally going to give you 20 pips easy, right? So this was last night. Last night I was on the phone with Neri when it was 2 o'clock in the morning, right? And then this happened. I was like, yo, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, so let's watch it. And then I seen the first candlestick go blue, and then red, and then blue, and then red. We entered right here. So as soon as I seen that red candle close, the next one I jumped on that. I jumped on that sell,
We
right?
in there like swimwear.
I'm telling you, like as soon as like at what? It was at 206, because at 205 that candlestick closed, 206 that opened.
Sniper?
Yeah, real sniper.
Listen, 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 Linda. So we had like a couple of entries. So the first entry was right here, and our TP was at 20 pips. And then when we went down a little bit, we had another entry, because we was like, yo, this is gonna be good. Like, come on, why not double up on it? You know what I mean? So we both entered second, like we entered again, right? Like when it was like probably 10 pips in for another 20 pips, right? So well, actually, it was like what we did, like another 10 pips or something like that. But either way, I know eventually we got 30 pips. So this is 20 pips right here, and it took us what 12 minutes to hit TP. Well, actually, hold on. Let's go down a little bit. So this is 20 pips right here. So it literally took us about 14, 15 minutes to get TP.
Wow.
And then we waited a little bit for the next 10 pips. It took us a little while because it kind of went down. It kind of went back up in a drawdown, and then it eventually went back down, and then gave us another 10 pips. So that was an easy easy 30 pips. Why during New York session at 2 o'clock in the morning until like two. Let's just say 3 o'clock. So in 1 hour we made 30 pips, just like that. You may think, oh, okay, y'all might got lucky, whatever. Let me see something else. I'm gonna give you another example. The day before that, right? Let's look at the day before that. All right, so the day before that, what's the first candle? It's a blue one, right? Which means it's going up, went down, went up, went down, right? So if you entered right at that last red candlestick for 20 pips, right? That's what we're going for, right? We're all doing 20 pip and dip, right? So this is 22 pips. I'm not even gonna move it, whatever. But this is 22 pips. Took us what? 55 minutes to get 20 pips. That simple. If you see an M forming, get on that sell. If you see a W, get on that buy. Again, I'm gonna go to the next day too. It is what it is. I mean, I'll show you again, right? See right here? Blue, red, blue, red. After that, first red, get on that sell. I mean, get on that right here. Get on that sell for 20 pips. So TP would be right here. I mean, stop loss right there. TP 20 pips. Got 20 pips right here. Boom. Do y'all want me to keep going or do y'all get the point? This is what, like 4 in a row? 3, 4 in a row?
Keep going. Keep going.
Hey, I'm gonna keep going. I can keep going. That's not a problem. I can keep going. You know? Let's see. All right, so right here, I got an M. So I got up, down, up, down. So right here, I'm gonna get on the sell for 20 pips, right? Right after that red candlestick. Boom, sell. So go to up to 20 and then go down to 20. Let's see which one is gonna hit first. Which one did it hit first? Do y'all see what I'm seeing?
Yes, sir. Hey.
So it's literally that simple. Again, it meant Demba, can you give me a second, please? Give me like 5-10 minutes. Give me like 5-10 minutes. Give me like 5-10 minutes. Thank you. See you later. But yeah, like I was saying, it's literally that simple. It may not be like a strategy that you might find on YouTube or whatever, but like it works for me. And this only it worked. It literally like the way that I found out about this strategy is like one day, like I went and I just got on the trade right after the New York the Asian session, so and it was a buy. Next day I did the same thing and I saw a buy, so I just started doing my back test. It took me like a couple of weeks to just do my back test, so I just went back to the day before, right? I went back to the day before and I seen it and it did the same thing, so I kept going back. Every time I go back a day, it shows me the exact same thing. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna box out the Asian session. I don't care what happened in the Asian session. The only thing that I care about is literally the first candlestick that happens right after the Asian session. If it shows me an M, I'm getting on the sell. If it shows me a W, I'm getting on the buy. That simple. And it's been working for me. As you can see, how long have I been using this strategy? Like, when did I find out about this strategy? It's been like it hasn't been that long, but it's like it's been it's been like since what the first time that I actually started putting it on my chart was September 8th, and it's been working every single time. Like it literally worked every single time. I can go back. We don't have the time for that, but like I can literally go back at every single day on every single one of these boxes. As you can see, I got my sales and buys and stuff. Every single box on here it's on point. On point. Literally on point. Sharnette, you said someone told you about that with the US 30. I mean, it's possible, but like me personally, I only use it on GU. I only use it on. I don't use it on any other pair or any other like currency. I only use it on my GU. So that's the only thing that I use it on. Yeah. So I guess someone else already knew about that strategy, right? You thought he was a little crazy. I'm a little crazy, so man, he might be a little crazy too.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
So with this strategy, you only use this on the 1 hour time frame, or
No, I use it
1
on the
hour?
1 minute. I use it on the 1 minute.
Oh, 1 minute. Okay,
1
1
minute.
minute.
Literally the 1 minute.
Sure.
Like 1 minute, and that's it. Because I'm only going for 20 pips, and then like sometimes when I see that it can like when it hits my TP, right? When it hits my TP and I see that it's continuing to go, right? I just ride it out. Like I just move my stop loss into my profit, and then just ride it. That's easy money. Like that's literally easy pips. So I'm just riding it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Like it almost looks like there's like mini reversal blocks in there, you know, like
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
little
I mean,
little
and like if you see right here, like right here, this is what remember y'all remember this week now. Everybody remembers this week, right? From the other night. So
Oh man,
basically
that was all you. That was all you.
that it was. But all right, so Marvin, I'm gonna show you here in a second. All right, I got you. I'm gonna show you here in a second. I just want to go over this real quick, and I'm gonna show you with the M and the W. All right, I got you.
Is it GU you said, or any pair?
I only use it on GU. I don't know if it works on any other. Like, I've tried it on multiple other pairs, but I haven't seen the correlation. The only pair that I've seen it work on is GU. And again, I trade GU every day, so maybe I'm being a little bit biased, but you can try it on a different pair and see if it works, if it correlates with it. You know, if you see another pair that starts with GBP or something, look at it and see if it does the same. You know, we can actually go ahead and back test it if you want, but you know, right now I don't know if you'll be able to have time right now to do it, but I can definitely back test it and look at another pair that starts with GBP and see if it does the same thing every single time. But with me, because I love to trade GU, I did my homework on it. I did my homework on GU, and I found something that works for me that gets me 20 pips easy, literally easy. Right after the Asian session, I get on it, 20 pips, and I'm out.
I'm gonna try for UJ.
Try for UJ and let me know if it works. If it works, then let me know, please. All right. So basically, this day right here, when that long week happened.
But hold on, no more. But UJ is a New York and Asian pair.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. So it may not work on UJ.
It may not work for UJ.
Try it on GJ.
What you're doing is you're doing it for you're doing it after Asian, going into London session, which makes sense because it's a London pair.
Oh.
Okay. Hey Sylvia, let me know. Let me know, Sylvia, if it works on GA. You know. Again, GA.
Unless you're gonna, I wonder if you. Well, yeah.
I mean, GA would move in Asian session. So I don't know. It might be a little different, you know.
Yeah, but not UJ.
Not UJ. UJ will move in New York and Asian. So you can put a block on London, and then right after London ends, just look at the pattern right after London session, because technically that would be the same as me blocking out the Asian session and then seeing what it does right after it, right? So try it with like where you block out the London session and then just look at the pattern right after it. If it gives you some type of M or W and then you just test it out and see, let me know. So hey, we could both give each other signals. But like I was saying, so this is the, like, for instance, right here, I got the 20 pips here, right? And I seen that it continued to go down. So as soon as it was about to hit my TP, I just moved my TP. Again, don't do that. Just saying. But I did it because like I seen that it was continuing to go down. So that's easy money. That's free money for me, right? So I just moved it down. And then when it got to that point, As you guys can see, there's a W, right? Y'all see an inverted head and shoulder, right? Y'all see that? Do y'all see that head and shoulder?
Yes, sir.
All right, so inverted head and shoulder. As soon as I seen that, I got out of that trade. I got out of that trade with 40 pips. So when I got out of that trade, a few minutes later, this thing happened. So I got out right on time. When Savvy's wig was getting snatched off, I was out of the market. Sorry, I had to put it out there, Savvy. I'm sorry. I had to. But anybody got any more questions? I mean, we've been on here for like 2 hours or whatnot. I can keep going. Like, everybody, y'all all know I can be on here for 6-7 hours. But I'm not trying to keep y'all on here. So just let me know if y'all Oh yeah. Hold on. Marvin, I gotta show you, Marvin. Hey Sheldon, I got you, Sheldon. Sheldon.
Hey, bro. Yeah, bro. I was about to ask you about that W and M2.
Oh, so y'all got the same questions then. All right, so Marvin, you said I'm not clearly seeing the M. Can you zoom in a bit? All right, so it doesn't have to be a pretty M or W, right? So the reason why I'm saying M and W is because like right here, my blue candles means it's going up, right? And then red means it's going down, right? So I see blue, I go up. I see red, I'm going down. Another red going down, another red going down, and I see another blue, right? And then another red. That looks like an M to me. It's an ugly M, but it's still an M, right? Right? Y'all agree, right? I need some engagement. Come on.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah, right.
Amen,
Yeah,
amen,
right.
amen.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Come on now. I want to hear from him though. I want to hear from Marvin though. What's up, Marvin? Do you get what I'm saying though? Like when you see blue, it doesn't literally have you don't literally have to see an M or a W. All you need to see is that blue, red, blue, red. That's an M. Red, blue, that's a W. Right?
Yeah, I got you.
You got it? All right, perfect. So Sheldon, you said what now?
It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to make the shape.
Exactly. It does not need to make the shit. As long as you see the candlesticks matching up. Y'all see I'm over here struggling to delete this M. Yeah, I've been trying to delete this M for like 2 minutes. I'm sorry, y'all. But anyway, yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. Can somebody tell me how to delete this thing?
Click on it.
Click on it.
Yo, what is happening? I'm clicking on it. Look.
There's a bin.
Look. It's not going.
Oh well.
It looks like it's glitching. Maybe you need to yell at it or something.
Oh, there you go. It's gone. It's gone. Oh my God, it's gone. But I got another line. Let me go ahead and stop recording this thing. By the way, it's been it's been going on for a minute. But like, let me go ahead and stop recording it first.
It's about to go down.
It's about to go down.